4 points per game. She's also number 3 in the SEC, right under 5 assists per game at 4.9. And she is the top free throw shooter in conference play, 39 out of 42 at the free throw line in league games. And the Lady Bulldogs in red and white will start on offense.
Georgia's going to have to attack that Vanderbilt zone. Vanderbilt goes right down that 2-3.
Morrison out on the wing, skip pass to Sarah Ashley Barker, air ball, but Morrison gets the rebound, missed the reverse put in, and off of Vanderbilt's hands.
Sarah Ashley Barker, was out here early today trying to work on her shot. Didn't get a good one off there. Q Morrison really had an easy layup, didn't have to do the reverse.
Barker will try again, this time from the corner. Starts 0 for 2. Rebound controlled by Alexander for Vanderbilt. Here's a look at the starting 5 for the Commodores. Cambridge, Washington, Moore, Alexander, and Smith. Brene Alexander, their leading scorer, at 15.5 points per game. Cut to the basket. Alexander beat her player on defense, and there's the basket.
Coons is an outstanding defensive player for Georgia. She's got her hands full tonight. Just a little offsides right there against Alexander. I think Vanderbilt's going to try to exploit that matchup tonight.
Turnover by Morrison. And a 4-0 lead for the Commodores as Kaylin Smith knocks down the basket.
Again, this sets up their zone press. They love the run, love to disrupt you, get you out of your rhythm.
And another turnover nearly forced by the Vanderbilt defense right there.
They force about 19 a game. Again, what sets up their press is scoring. So they go off to a great start here. Those 2 quick buckets. They can set their press. Again, just all it does is just let Georgia get into a rhythm, get comfortable out there. Georgia started the game with 2 3-point shots. When you're at home, you don't seem to mind it as a coach too much. On the road, you really want an inside touch. At home, be a little more forgiving. But Georgia needs to get some inside touches against this zone.
Stady inside to Isaacs, and a shot clock violation on the Lady Bulldogs. An auspicious start for Georgia here at home.
Again, that zone very disruptive. Georgia's got to lock down their defense. So Vanderbilt can't set that zone. Then you got to be a little more patient attacking that zone defense.
Oddly enough, Georgia has been better on the road than they have been at home this season. Slightly, but nonetheless better record-wise. 8-1 on the road and 8-3 at home.
2 tough losses in league play. LSU, Tennessee went right to the wire.
Last touch by the Commodores as Barker, with the strong defense, forces the cough up by Ayanna Moore.
A really good defensive possession for Georgia. They needed it. They've struggled a little bit offensively. Barker, great job staying with it. Smart play to knock it back off her.
Isaacs, there's the cut to the basket and the layup for the Lady Bulldogs as Barker gets in the scoring column.
And one of the things you want to do against this Vanderbilt press is you want to attack. You want to break it and go right to the rim. Try to draw fouls, get layups. You don't want to reset your offense so they can set their defense. Go at them.
Cambridge misses the three-pointer. Long rebound into the hands of the Lady Bulldogs. Coombs to Stady. Game tied at 4.
A really good defense by Lady Dog defense, a rebound there. But look for Georgia to run as much as they can. They don't want Vanderbilt to set their defense. They want to attack them in those kind of matchups. 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s all night long.
Lady Dogs are 0 for 3 when they try to score out of their setup offense, but 2 for 2 in transition. Commodores back on top.
Well, Washington, nice job at the mid-range. You better close out on her quick. She's confident tonight. See, she's really comfortable out there. You've got to get a hand up on her early, discourage her from shooting.
Stady, there's a double team, and it's swiped away by Cambridge. The first of what no doubt will be many steals for her tonight. And then Q Morrison blocks her shot. So how about that? The 2 Naismith Defensive Player of the Year watch list nominees going defense against defense here.
Well, look at Cambridge. Stady not aware. You always have to be aware where she is on defense. But Q Morrison, disciplined not to foul her body. Patient to block that shot. 2 really outstanding players right there making plays.
2-point lead Vanderbilt. Nearly 4 minutes into this game. Georgia's been getting off to great starts in their last 4 games. They'd outscored their opponents 83-38 in the first quarter. That's about an average of 21-10. Barker misses the three-pointer. Rebound by Isaac's going to go right back to the basket with it and miss. Might have rushed it a little bit, and then Coombs commits the foul in the backcourt.
That's the second layup Georgia's missed where they really have rushed themselves. They have a little more time, a little more patience. And you can see what Vanderbilt's Coach Ralph's strategy right there. Her soft press, sometimes it goes hard, trying to get steals, but just disrupts you, drive back to that zone. Georgia didn't start attacking that zone until about 16 seconds to go on the shot clock. So it eats clock up, shortens the game, gives you a better opportunity to win.
Cambridge, the floater, air ball. Barker with it. Vandy very quick with the hands, just slapping at the ball, forces another turnover by Georgia, and the floater bank in by Cambridge. So Cambridge, Washington, Alexander, and Smith have all scored buckets here. Stady gets tied up in the paint. They call a jump ball. It'll be Vandy's ball. Well, Vanderbilt has a distinct size disadvantage facing Stady and the bigs for Georgia here tonight. But Coach Joni Taylor warned that Vandy, despite their disadvantage lack of size, has done a very good job against bigs in this conference this season. Held Aaliyah Boston to 10 points in the game against South Carolina.
Yeah, they're going to swarm Stady. Nice shot by Smith. Again, getting Stady away from the basket, hitting those mid-range jumpers. But, yeah, they're going to swarm Stady, make other people beat them with a jump shot, trying to limit her touches as much as they can.
Smith has 2 of Vanderbilt's first 10 points and a 6-point lead for the Commodores. She was left open. Isaacs chose not to take the shot. Coombs, and her shot was deflected out of bounds by Smith. And we have our first timeout of the night. Great start for Vanderbilt. They've hit 5 of their first 9 shots. Georgia only 2 of 8.
Their skill sets, you want them healthy. So she's battled back hard, and she is just a delight to watch play college basketball.
Well, Vanderbilt already has 4 steals here tonight. Cambridge has 1, Washington has 1, Alexander has 1, and Smith has 1 as well. Shot clock at 1, and another shot clock violation. That's the second shot clock violation, Coach, for the Lady Bulldogs in the first 5.5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, well, coming out of timeout, inbounds underneath the baseline there. You know if the shot clock is low, you got to be aware of that and get that shot off. Be prepared to shoot a lot quicker than they were.
You saw first-year head coach Shea Ralph on the sideline for Vanderbilt. One of the great players to come out of the UConn program and an assistant to Gino Auriemma for the last 13 seasons.
Yeah, outstanding coach. What a career. She is just a legend in college basketball. What an outstanding high school player she was as well. But right there is kind of what she mentioned today, the unforced turnover there. She's thrown it out of bounds against no pressure and lost possession for Vandy.
Isaacs puts it on the floor and got stripped. Steal number 5 for the Commodores. Into the post they go. Kaylin Smith back out to Cambridge. To the corner, and Cambridge missed the 3. Battle for the rebound. It's won by the Lady Dogs. Isaacs with it.
We're getting deep into the quarter and no substitutions yet in the game. Georgia's going to have to make a decision, here a few minutes as they shuffle their lineup a little bit.
Hugh Morrison misses the 3. Stady in the paint. Third basket for Georgia. Every one of them has come in the paint. 2 of them were in transition and were layups.
Absolutely. Another missed 3. But, again, against that zone, you get opportunity as an offensive player to really attack the offensive glass. Box out responsibilities can be missed a lot. And Jenna Stady, being the veteran she is, attack that glass, got the easy stick back.
Meantime, Georgia's 0 for 7 shooting on the perimeter. Kaylin Smith, the spin move. And Smith, with her 3rd bucket, she's got 6 of Vandy's 12.
And Smith and Washington have come out of here really relaxed, ready to play. Not necessarily the 2 leading scorers for them, but they've come out just looking very confident offensively.
Inside Stady, more points in the paint for Georgia.
That's what you have to do against that zone. Georgia does it like most teams, runs a high-low against the zone. If you get that ball in that mid, high post area like Isaacs just did, you can find your other big.
Fumbled out of bounds by Alexander. Just the second turnover for Vanderbilt. They've turned Georgia 7 times. Vandy's had trouble with turnovers themselves. They are 13th in the conference, averaging 17.5 per game.
Georgia's trying to settle the game down a little bit. Get Vandy back at these stats the way they're supposed to be. Get Vandy turning the ball over and Georgia not turning the ball over.
Barker launches a 3 and it rims out on her. Alexander, air ball. Hugh Morrison pushes. Georgia trying to get into offense before Vandy sets up on defense. Another miss on the perimeter for Georgia. Alexander, Vandy pushes back the other way. Moore on the dribble. Sasha Washington, who starred at nearby Collins Hill High School, dishes to Cambridge, who gets the bounce. Cambridge with her second bucket.
Anytime you see your defender going to double the post, that's an automatic basket cut. Cambridge saw that. Her player, Coombs, tried to dig down on the post a little bit. Great basket cut, great pass right here. And your rule is, hey, cut that basket, get the backside of their head. Beautiful pass. And Cambridge, again, just understanding the game, understanding the moment, making Georgia pay.
Foul in the backcourt was called on Ayanna Moore. Substitutions for the Lady Bulldogs as Chloe Chapman checks in and Michaela Coombs comes out.
Now, Chapman and Coombs aren't really known as three-point shooters. Coombs doesn't really ever put them up. Chapman is. So Chapman needs to do a good job of penetrating the zone, finding her shooters, finding her scorers. Just like that.
And Morrison with the three-pointer. So after 5 misses for the Lady Bulldogs, Morrison finally knocks down the first 3 for Georgia, and the Lady Bulldogs cut it to 3.
That shooting start, smart move by Coach Taylor to put Morrison over the 2, bring Chapman at the 1, get Morrison so she gets some offense going.
It's Bella LaChance who checked in at the last whistle.
LaChance doesn't have a lot of minutes, but she has good stats, good numbers.
Shot clock down to 2 and banks it in. That's the second time that Cambridge has hit a floating banker in the paint. 6 points for her.
You've got to really limit her penetration. Again, Chapman, cardinal sin. You don't want to pick your dribble up right there against any kind of pressure.
Knocked out of bounds by Kaylin Smith.
Cambridge just knows she's aware of time and score, knows the shot clock's running down. Again, no weak side help to cut off her penetration. Georgia's got to collapse right there. Cut off her penetration.
Cambridge coming off one of the best games of her career, scored 19 points, had 10 rebounds in their victory against Auburn. And Hugh Morrison's starting to light it up a little bit. Second basket for Morrison. She's got 5 of Georgia's 13. Final 8 seconds of the quarter.
We thought earlier, Hugh Morrison's what a great leader. And understand, again, she knows her team is struggling. She shouldn't put it on her shoulders.
And Morrison blocks Cambridge's shot at the horn. And that is the end of the first quarter. Vanderbilt with a 3-point lead. They've led by as much as 6 in this game. Winning streak after a very difficult 85-30 loss to number 1 South Carolina. But having Jordan Cambridge back has been big for Coach Shea Ralph's team. Still learning how to fight through adversity. Told her players today as they huddled up at half court, you still haven't played your best game yet. Let's go out and play our best game tonight. Absolutely.
Again, you got to be encouraging her first year of the program, trying to get them to believe. And one of the toughest hurdles you got to get is how to learn how to win on the road. That is a tough part of building a program. They've come out with a lot of confidence tonight.
Commodores 1-5 on the road, 0-3 on the road in the SEC this year. Errant pass, stolen. Nicholson ends up with it. Inside Nicholson, no one guarded her, and she passed up a shot underneath to Morrison, who hit the 3. Even better for Georgia. Game tied at 16 as Morrison hits her second three-pointer.
And maybe 8 straight points for Q. She is feeling it right now. We usually talk about quarters, how games go, but first 5 minutes of this game, Vanderbilt outplayed Georgia the last 5 minutes of the first quarter. Georgia outplayed Vandy. Here's Hugh Morrison getting Georgia up to a great start.
Nice shot out there on the wing by Kaylin Smith over Nicholson. And Kaylin Smith has 8 points.
Way above her average.
And Vanderbilt's defense forces a turnover of Georgia's. They trap Chloe Chapman over on the other side.
Well, Chapman just had the turnover, trying to drive the baseline into traffic. Got the deflection. Cambridge took it from her. That's the second time now she's come across half court. Head down, not seeing the place. Set your teammates up in that situation. Don't put yourself in that trap situation.
Kaylin Smith off the rim this time. Nicholson chases down the loose ball, and Georgia will push it across half court with Morrison.
Georgia really needs a lift in their bench tonight. This is going to be a critical factor in this game. Nicholson's played really well recently, has so much talent, potential.
Nearly stolen again. A backdoor cut by Chapman. Kind of got the Vanderbilt defense leaning down court. They thought they had the steal. They were getting ready to run out.
They were. Nicholson, nice job with the pass right there. But Barker, just like so many of the Georgia players tonight, you got to fake the zone. You got to ball fake, pass fake it, get them moving, get them shifting, then go put the ball where you want to put it. Right now, the Lady Dogs are telegraphing their passes, and a lot of deflections by Vanderbilt.
Alexander, they whip it around to find the open man on the arc, and that's Ayanna Moore, who knocks down her first three-pointer. And the first one for Vanderbilt tonight. Commodores back on top by 3.
Coach Ralph definitely wants to get her involved. She can hit those set threes all night long. Great ball movement by Vanderbilt last possession.
Nicholson on the wing. And Mallory Bates tried to save it, knocked it out of bounds.
And Vanderbilt really doing a nice job right there. The back cut, second time we've seen that back cut. Now Georgia's scrambling all over the place. And Moore standing out there in the rotation, just too slow and too long to get to her. He made Georgia pay that possession.
Reagan Richardson checks in for Georgia. Lady Bulldogs once again playing without Jillian Hollingshed tonight. She did practice with the team today. She's been recovering from mono, been out for 3 weeks. They are hopeful that she'll be able to play on Sunday against the Florida Gators.
That's a big loss for Georgia. She is really outstanding freshman. And freshman of the week, I think 2 times already. A really outstanding player.
Chapman gets into the paint. Rebound control by Vanderbilt. It's Demi Washington with the rebound. She averages right at 5 of those a game, along with 6 points per game. Washington underneath couldn't handle the pass. She stepped out of bounds.
And Vanderbilt just being disruptive right here with a 2-1-2 press. Trying to get a trap if they can. If they don't, they'll just drop back to their zone. Just trying to be disruptive, trying to shorten the game, eat clock, give Georgia a lot less time to attack and check out those shot clock violations.
Traveling on Nicholson.
10th turnover for Georgia already.
Fortunately for the Lady Bulldogs, that's one of the rare dead ball turnovers. So many of them have been live ball turnovers that have led to scoring opportunities for the Commodores. Alexander, high bounce off the back iron. Alexander 1 for 3 now shooting.
Vanderbilt's got this lead, and their 2 leading scorers really have not put up big numbers yet.
Another steal. Got 7 of them already for Vanderbilt.
Cambridge, again, getting that passing lane, anticipating where the pass would go.
She just does a really good job of reading the opponent's eyes.
She does, man. She
Much like a safety in the defensive backfield, reading the quarterback's eyes. Where's the quarterback's eyes going? That's where the ball is going to go. And Cambridge, much like that, tracks the ball on the basketball court.
She really does. Great anticipation. And just so much fun to watch her play this game.
They really have been able to speed up Georgia offensively. Bates knocks down the mid-range jumper. Georgia back to within one, but they've done a really good job of speeding up Georgia's usually very sure-handed and reliable guards.
They really have, and they, again, get hands on balls, and they're forcing Georgia to take jump shots instead of those inside touch pace that Stady got a few of. Easy layups, short bank shots.
Kaylin Smith missed, got her own miss, and then the shot was blocked by Bates. Mallory Bates did a good job of helping out on defense right there and knocking the ball out of bounds. And a timeout on the floor with Vanderbilt leading by one, just under 5 to play.
One, doesn't get quite as much attention maybe in the scouting report, but boy, she is making teams pay right now and up in her game. What a great start for her.
1 point lead Vanderbilt, just under 5 to play here in the second quarter. Matt Stewart along with Coach Mark Sloniker. Thanks for joining us here tonight as Mallory Bates kicks it out of bounds.
Coach Ralph has given LaChance a lot of minutes tonight, trying to rest those perimeter players, because the Georgia perimeter players really get after your defense. They hound you, they wear you down, they fatigue you. So she's going into the bench, and again, LaChance puts up great numbers, just doesn't have a lot of minutes typically.
Fouled away from the ball underneath Bates, and I believe was that Washington? Yes, Demi Washington were battling for position, and Bates gets called for the foul. Alexander trying to get it in. It was tipped by Georgia, and a steal by the Lady Bulldogs.
Morrison and Stady back in. Coach Taylor getting her veterans in there. The productive players so far this game.
Lob inside for Stady, and that's going to be trouble for the Commodores if they cannot stop that, because Stady is so much bigger than any of the bigs for Vanderbilt.
And Richardson really recognized that. She's been sitting over there observing the game, watching us attack, Georgia attack the zone. She really did a nice job of recognition early in her time on the court. Hey, get the ball to Jenna Stady.
This is the first lead for Georgia tonight. Nearly stolen by Morrison. Coombs down on the deck, does come away with the steal, and then they play volleyball with it, and the Commodores recapture possession in the backcourt. Vanderbilt's gone nearly 4 minutes without scoring. And a foul on Georgia as Moore tried to split the defense.
Yeah, base right there. Again, you got to cut off Vanderbilt's dribble drive penetration. Just a step slow. She needs to be one step sooner. She could have cut off that penetration, make them kick. It gets in just in time to foul.
Second team foul on Georgia in the quarter. Ayanna Moore at the line. She has 3 points here tonight. This is the first free throws by either team. Moore, a 73% free throw shooter, averaging 12 points per game. Scored only 23 points total in her first 3 games since they inserted her into the starting lineup in the last 2 weeks, and then followed that up with an SEC career-high 22 against Auburn. Foul on the floor. This is going to go against Vanderbilt. I believe that was called on LaChance.
Yeah, LaChance took the brunt of the physical contact there, but she did initiate, make the original foul right there. But Stady let her know, hey, you're going to body me up. You're getting some of that back.
Coombs, mid-range jumper. Georgia's lead now at 1 again. More travel. Or did they call jump ball? They called jump ball instead, so Vanderbilt retains possession.
Georgia's very typically good about stopping the driving lanes, really good help side defenders. Vanderbilt's been getting through the seams.
Foul on Stady, came over the back to block the shot. That's going to put Kaylin Smith at the line.
Coach Ralph's got some really good baseline out of bounds plays. Puts a lot of pressure. I think it's one of the elements. A lot of schools don't put much emphasis on trying to score on baseline out of bounds plays. You can see Vanderbilt does. It puts a lot of pressure on the defense. It's almost like a special team situation in football. If you can get some points on those baseline out of bounds, sideline out of bounds, it's bonus at the end of the game for you.
Kaylin Smith, just a 64% free throw shooter. Averages 6 points, 5 rebounds per game, and missed them both. And Bates the rebound for Georgia. So the Lady Bulldogs have a 1-point lead. They'll come down the floor looking to stretch it.
Georgia right now probably has their weakest three-point shooting perimeter team on the court at the moment. They're really going to have to work hard to move the ball again. Right there, Chapman. No pass fake. Cambridge just reads your eyes, like you mentioned. He gets in the passing lane, gets a deflection. You must ball fake, pass fake. Cambridge, as much as you can. That's the best neutralizer for quickness, is a fake.
To your point, Richardson is the best three-point shooter on the floor for Georgia right now, 25%. Coombs, who just hit the mid-range jumper, has not attempted a three this year.
She knows her game. Michaela Coombs knows her game. It's mid-range and drives to the hoop. She has hit back-to-back ones to give Georgia a three-point lead. So it's critical that with this lineup in, Georgia's going to have to get inside touches, get Coombs that mid-range jumper, to get Stady and Bates some touches inside.
Of course, Coombs played at UConn when Ralph was an assistant coach there. So they're very familiar with each other. Richardson off the mark on her three-point attempt. Vandy pushes. Moore circumvents the defense and gets it for a three-point attempt. Stady the rebound for Georgia. Stady, second board for her. She has 8 points. Tied with Morrison for the team lead.
That's 2 quick threes for Georgia in transition. Nobody ready to rebound, offensive rebound. Richardson and Stady back-to-back. Shot too quick. I think if anybody else was ready on the team.
Georgia 2 for 9 on their threes so far tonight. 32% for the season, which is 8th in the conference. Alexander forced into a bad shot by Stady. Alexander's just 1 for 4. Coombs. Rebound is turned into a jump ball underneath, so Georgia gets it. So Bates comes off the floor after 9 minutes of work. 2 points, 2 rebounds for her. Barker back on.
Barker hasn't hit a three yet. 0 for 4 there. She's not getting the normal backspin she gets on her shots.
Cambridge called for the foul.
Before the half's over here, Georgia may have 1, maybe 2 possessions left this half. Be nice to get Barker, get one in, feeling good. Get that made shot on her resume for the night.
.48 seconds to play in the first half. Isaacs comes out to set a screen. Barker doesn't take it. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Chapman with 5 on the clock. Barker, spot up 3. Hits the iron. Rebound by Washington, and Barker continues to struggle out there. 0 for 5 on her three-point attempts.
She's not flicking her wrist like she normally does. Her backspin is really either non-existent or very slow. Not a normal rotation on her shot.
8 seconds to play in the half. Kaylin Smith working against Isaacs. And Vanderbilt will not get a shot off on the final possession. And the Lady Bulldogs, who trailed by as much as 6 in this first half, take a 3-point lead to the locker room. Bracketology, how a loss like that impacts Tennessee on that 2 line. As you saw, it was their worst loss since falling to #1 Stanford in 2019.
Wow, great win for Florida.
So Commodores in the black start on offense, led by as much as 6 in the first half, and this 3-point deficit is their largest of the game. Moore. Rebound pops up in the air. Washington got it back. She's battling against Isaacs. And then Kaylin Smith, another bucket, as she becomes the first player to get to double figures tonight. She's got 10, and she's 5 of 8 from the floor.
Vanderbilt all season long really excels at offensive rebound, keeping balls alive, and they're undersized. And man, did they hit the offensive glass. That was a great way for them to get 2. 3 on Cambridge.
And these will be the first free throws for Georgia tonight as well.
That's a big, big factor early in the third quarter here. Have Cambridge get her third. See what Coach Ralph is going to do.
Looks down her bench and brings in Bella LaChance. So LaChance will replace Jordan Cambridge. You see Cambridge wears that bulky left brace on her left knee. She's had 2 ACL injuries in her career. Phenomenal that she has been able to recover to become the defensive presence that she is on the floor, leading the nation in total steals with 80. She goes to the bench tonight with 3 steals.
Georgia needs to take advantage of this. Cambridge out, can be out for a little while.
Foul's going to be on Georgia. Isaacs picks up her first personal.
Cut that baseline off. Good job again. Coach is giving LaChance a lot of opportunity tonight to play. She has been productive in the minutes she has received this season. She's been a good little spark plug off the bench tonight.
Ball was deflected, coming over the back. Barker is called for the foul. And Commodores are going to the line. Barker picks up her first personal foul, and Brene Alexander will go to the stripe.
Against Stadium, the block shot on the perimeter. When you're a defensive player, you kind of get box out responsibility. An air ball or a block shot in the air throws you totally off. And she just took advantage of it and got to the more aggressive, got the rebound.
Well, Coach, I never got around to asking how long will Coach Ralph keep Cambridge on the bench, and the answer is not very long. She's right back in the game.
She knows this is a critical part of the game. She cannot let Georgia get up to a double-digit lead. She's got to keep it right here and just run the dice. Cambridge is a veteran player. Understand, be made a little less aggressive. Try to stay out of foul trouble.
Barker being harassed out there by Washington. Stady, mid-range jumper. She's now in double figures. She's got 10 on 5 of 6 shooting from the floor.
That's a good job by Barker. Get that deep penetration. Sucking 2 defenders to you.
Kaylin Smith back at it on the offensive end, leading scorer in this game with 12.
What a night for Kaylin Smith. So poised, so confident right now.
Coombs steps inside the arc and hits the jumper. Third bucket for Michaela Coombs.
She knows her range, and that's right about where it is. And hit the 2 big shots in the same. Wow. Cambridge, unforced turnover.
9th turnover for the Commodores.
Coombs knows her range. Barker set her up. Nice job. A little penetration. Those 2 mid-range jumpers Coombs hit in the first half gave Georgia the lead, gives them some confidence.
Back the other way, Morrison. She's now in double figures.
Again, Morrison, just a veteran player, understands the game. First possession, she goes right at Cambridge, gets her 3rd foul. In the zone, Cambridge is going to be a little more protective, not to play man-to-man. But Q Morrison just goes right at her in the zone. Knows she's not going to play her tough, and Horan gets a great mid-range shot.
And pass deflected out of bounds by Morrison.
You see Coach Ralph early this half. She was trying to get Alexander going. Alexander didn't score much first half. They didn't get any opportunities to score. Her physicality, they're trying to get her posted up on the Georgia perimeter players on the switch situations. Trying to just get her more touches.
Alexander is 5th in the SEC in field goals made. 128. She has 1 tonight and 1 for the Commodores. Good, strong, muscular play by Demi Washington down on the low block to draw the foul and get the basket.
Some of the switching that Georgia's doing, Vanderbilt's really making a play. Again, a game inside the game, right? Check out those matchups. When Georgia switches, big against little, they are immediately posting up the Georgia perimeter players.
That's the 3rd miss for the Commodores at the line tonight. They're 4 of 7. Foul underneath. It's going to go against the Commodores, and Kaylin Smith picks up her first personal.
That's her first. Vanderbilt's second. Georgia will maintain the second.
Again, Georgia trying to look for that high-low. They're so good. Everybody in the league knows they do it. They're so good at it. It's hard to stop it. Stady with a good look for Isaacs through the foul.
Barker 0 for 6 behind the 3-point line.
Again, just a lazy rotation. You got to get that snap.
Washington lodges between the rim and the backboard.
And so far in this game, it really hasn't been a chance for either team to really get a big run going. I think Vanderbilt's had a 6-0 run. Georgia's had a 5-0 run. Just one of those games that's been grinding, teams playing play. Really, the defense has been outstanding in the game. And it's really disrupted either team from having the opportunity to just put together that 7-0, 8-0, 9-0 run to kind of get some separation in the game.
Georgia's largest run tonight has been a 5-0 run, and the largest for Vanderbilt has been a 6-0 run. Georgia back up by 5 again, matching their largest lead of the night. Cambridge hard off the backboard this time. Long outlet to Coombs. Back to Stady. Nicely done. And Shea Ralph's going to win a timeout right here. Gets it. Georgia leading by 7. It's their biggest of the night.
Getting good shots right there. Georgia's got their field goal percentage all the way up to 51.5%. They're a slow start to the game shooting. Vanderbilt came out on fire. They're already down to 39%. So the game is kind of seesawing here to Georgia's favor.
Stady and Morrison have combined for 24 of Georgia's 38 points. That's Moore, misses the 3. Battle for the loose ball is won by Morrison. Had it stolen away by Smith. They find the open man underneath, and Washington sticks it in. She's got 6, and Vanderbilt gets back to within 5, coming out of that timeout by Coach Ralph.
Yeah, Morrison had it, tried to throw it up her leg and missed it. Great job by Vanderbilt. Stay with that possession and get the 2 points.
Underneath Bates, overplayed on defense, and Bates makes them pay for it.
And you can see Georgia's not settling for that jump shot they were getting early, 8-10 seconds in the shot clock position in the first half. They're now being patient, penetrating that zone, and trying to get those inside touches.
Cambridge beats everybody on defense to get the layup. 8 for her.
That's some design that Coach Ralph has put in, because that's 2 back-to-back possessions trying to get Cambridge to turn that corner on the right side of the floor, either to score or set up a shooter.
Stady at the foul line. Rebound snagged out of the air by Cambridge, runs right by Stady. They have numbers and saw the official on the wing, thought it was a teammate and threw it out of bounds.
The official should have been ready to shoot it. She had her hands ready. She could have drained that 3. She was wide open. But this is what Coach Ralph casually mentioned to us today, right? That they throw the ball out of bounds for no reason.
She wasn't joking.
It's like the 3rd time this game.
And Georgia nearly goes backcourt. It was last touched by the Lady Bulldogs. They turn it over.
Nicholson's got to be strong with the ball right there.
Timeout. Half minute.
Going, get some penetration in the gap. Draw that second defender. Drop off passes. Get high percentage shots. And you're seeing it here. 14 paint points for Georgia. Either out of fast break penetration or drop off passes to the post players. And both players are scoring even from the mid-range for Georgia. So that's how you beat a zone. That's how you wear Vandy down, is that way. And they've really done a good job this half of doing it.
Stolen by Nicholson as Cambridge got herself too far underneath the basket.
That time they designed it out coming from the left wing, her to drive over on the baseline. Good things happened the last 2 times on the right side, but not so much that time. Bates
throws it away, and Q Morrison can't save it. Vanderbilt beats her to it, so that's a turnover. Low bounce pass to Timmy Washington. What hustle by Cambridge. Q Morrison was just trying to get back there and get to the ball. It's going to be an over and back violation, and Cambridge turned it into points right away for Vanderbilt.
Yeah, Q Morrison tried to keep it alive by not touching it. Maybe they can get recovery on it. Didn't work that way. Just some bad passes here. 3 in a row by Georgia. And another bad pass out of the post. And again, Vanderbilt just out-hustled Georgia on that one. Great job by Cambridge. Washington in the right place at the right time.
10 steals for the Commodores tonight.
And 3 straight just horrendous passes by Georgia. Turnovers just gives Vanderbilt life. They pull away by 7. Made those careless turnovers. Just give Vanderbilt life. Chance that, hey, we're just going to hover around. Hopefully at the end it's a 3-minute game, tight score, and we can win it.
Had a little bit of a stoppage here. I don't know whether Cambridge had a little nick or something and some blood that they needed to clean up. But she stays in the game, which is good news for Vanderbilt. She has been the spark plug for them tonight. Inside they go to Alexander. Can't get her shot off. And then steals it right back after Georgia stepped out of bounds. Coombs turned it over.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's so aggressive on the offensive glass. Get to it. You got to be so strong with the basketball. Even once you think you have it, he tries to dribble out, trips over her foot really right there. Vanderbilt might got away with a foul.
Alexander tries to go through the defense, blocking foul on Georgia. So Alexander trying to assert herself. It's not been a Brene Alexander kind of night offensively, so she's trying to make something happen right here.
She really is, and again, good for her. She's stepping up. Those first couple plays, possessions for Vanderbilt to start the half. Coach Ralph had a couple of plays designed for her, trying to get her touches, trying to get her involved. They know they need her point production. Smith's having a phenomenal game for her, playing above her average, but for them to win and get this road win, Alexander's going to have to step up and be productive.
She's 3 for 3 at the foul line tonight. Team leading 74% for the season, and she cuts the Georgia lead to 1. Commodores now 6 of 9 at the foul line. Georgia 2 for 2 tonight. Q Morrison runs away from the defense. Pass was blocked by Moore.
Q Morrison stepped up every time Vanderbilt's made a run. They haven't had big runs in this game, and many ones, but she stepped up.
Nicholson, and that's a blocking foul on Vanderbilt. Basket will count.
Yeah, she's just a little bit late over there. The offensive player Nicholson already had established her path to the basket. Again, really not a good possession for Georgia that time. With those 3 straight turnovers, they really just could not get in sync there. Q Morrison had the pass deflected. But Nicholson finally got the high-low game they want. Got it right there. Again, saw a seam, was able to attack the rim.
Somebody was able to crack up Nicholson from the bench. She started laughing. She's just a 48% free throw shooter, maybe trying to take her mind off the free throw.
Yeah, with Stady graduating this year, she's really going to have to step up her game this year. She has so much ability. She's a really good post player, but boy, free throw shooting is going to have to be a big element for her in the offseason to get better at. Stady is so proficient at the free throw line.
Stady's a 77% free throw shooter, something that she really worked on from early in her career as well. Wasn't always that good. 3 minutes to play in the quarter. Georgia leading by 3.
Georgia's gone to their bench. You got 3 subs in the game.
Kaylin Smith had to fire it up there to beat the shot clock, and it glanced off the iron. It'll be Georgia's ball. That's just That's one of the rare poor shots from her tonight, but she had to force it.
Yeah, no choice right there. Had to get it up. And they're so good at offensive rebounding. Just throw it up there, right? Everybody attack.
Coombs had it stripped away by Alexander. Another steal. Alexander loses her man and hits the mid-range jumper. And Vanderbilt has cut it to 1, and Coombs is yet to get off the floor.
It looked like her leg just buckled. She tried to move.
Out of the Wesleyan School in Atlanta, McDonald's All-American. They'll take her right to the locker room.
She's had a great year. Just been so vital to the success of the Lady Dogs this season. And Georgia's going to have 4 subs in the game to try to probably finish out this quarter, see if Q Morrison can get this bunch to build that lead back up again. But credit Vanderbilt, forcing turnovers, active hands again, capitalizing on the offensive end.
Morrison, three-pointer. Rebound. Cambridge comes away with it. And then from behind, Richardson with the steal for Georgia. To the baseline it goes, and Richardson rim out. Nicholson the offensive rebound and the miss. Kaylin Smith gets the rebound for Vanderbilt. Commodores come down the floor, less than 2 to play here in the third quarter. A chance to reclaim the lead. Washington drives, shot it short. Nicholson the rebound. Morrison, long pass to a streaking Chapman, and a layup.
Great job by Nicholson getting that block shot. Found her point guard, Q Morrison. Chapman's so fast from her soccer days. She can really fly down the court. Great lead pass by Morrison.
It really looked like she shifted into another gear when that ball got in the air. 3-point lead, Georgia. Long strides to the basket, and Bates blocks it out of bounds.
Back-to-back good possessions by Nicholson and Bates on the defensive end, getting those block shots, being those rim protectors. We talked throughout the game. Vanderbilt really wants to penetrate those Georgia perimeter players. And that back line again, good steal inside.
And they called a jump ball right there when it appeared Nicholson had come away with it. Possession arrow favors Vanderbilt.
And Vanderbilt, Coach Rao does such a great job. Offensive boards. Even if they don't get it initially, they're scrapping, slapping at you, making life difficult on you. And it pays off with an extra possession.
40 seconds left in the quarter. Entry pass right into the hands of Nicholson.
That's the third great defensive possession by Nicholson.
Morrison elbow in traffic. Tried to get her own miss. And Washington the rebound for the Commodores. Again, Vandy comes down the floor for the tie. Last touched by Vanderbilt.
Georgia play 1-for-1 shot. Vanderbilt will try to speed them up here. Try to get one more turnover before the quarter ends.
Morrison down the floor. 10 to go in the quarter. Chapman, see where the ball goes. They'll swing it over to Richardson. Back door to Morrison, and banked it in at the buzzer. Actually, 3/10 left on the clock and a foul called on the play as well. It'll put Morrison at the line. They added a lot more time than I thought they would. They must be taking it back to when the foul was actually committed. But nonetheless, a three-point opportunity here for Q Morrison. She completes it. 47-41, Georgia the lead. And Cambridge takes the inbounds, doesn't do anything with it. And that is the end of the third quarter. 6-point lead for the Lady Bulldogs as they outscore Vanderbilt.
Team, experienced, deep team. They're just going to wear Vanderbilt down over 40 minutes. So Vanderbilt's hanging in there, though. They just keep hanging around. Never let Georgia pull away by more than 7 points so far. Again, big quarter. The first 5 minutes of this quarter would be really critical to see how this game's going to go.
We've done our best to muscle through and battle through tonight. Georgia's outstanding women's basketball sports information director, as Richardson puts it in to give Georgia an 8-point lead. Trey Littlefield is under the weather and has not been able to help us here tonight. They basically have brought in the entire sports information department to try to replace him
Only
tonight.
way you can do it.
I mean, they've got everybody here trying to do the job that Trey does by himself. So, Trey, we hope you feel better, and we'll see you soon.
At the halfway mark, all the votes were in. He was SID of the year so far at the halfway mark. So we've got to get him back. Trey, we need you, buddy. But Richardson did a nice job on the offensive end for Georgia. Get that offensive glass. Again, it's so hard to box out in that zone. Take advantage of it. Get to the boards.
Alexander now in double figures. They will free her up on the inbounds pass.
Well, they run some good out-of-bounds plays. Baseline out-of-bounds plays, Vanderbilt.
Wow. Big foul right there. Alexander comes out and collides with Morrison. Alexander picks up her first personal. Nobody in any real foul trouble outside of players. Cambridge has 3, but she picked up 3 early, and she's played a quarter now without picking up another. And Coombs, unfortunately, she, I was looking at the wrong category, and she's out right now in the locker room after injuring herself. And we'll effort to bring you some kind of update on her condition if we can get it.
We're it's a minute and a half into the fourth quarter, and only 1 team foul for each team. A big shot there by Moore. Vanderbilt just keeps hanging around.
It's the second 3-pointer for her, and another turnover, another steal for the Commodores. 12 of them tonight. Trailing on the play and stepping into the shot, miss. Foul's going to be called on Vanderbilt. Washington gets whistled for the foul. Second and second team foul.
Washington's just an outstanding offensive rebounder, especially so far as establishing herself as a player in the SEC. And you see she's got a bright future ahead of her.
(49-46). Georgia leads by 3. Richardson in the corner. Rebound controlled by Vanderbilt. And foul's going to be called on Georgia. That'll put Moore at the line. Mallory Bates will come in now. Ayanna Moore, 8 points, 2 of 2 at the line. Commodores 6 of 9 at the line. 4th miss for them tonight. Haven't been a great free throw shooting team in conference play. In fact, dead last, under 62%. They get 1 of them. 2-point lead, Vanderbilt. 2-point deficit, Vanderbilt, pardon me. Inside they go, and Bates. The defense went after Stady and left Bates wide open. 4-point lead, Georgia.
And Chapman set that up. In the first half, she picked up her dribble twice just over the half-court line, trap zone. That time she went deeper and further, found Stady in the high post. Stady in the high-low game, so unselfish. Easy layup for Bates.
Offensive foul, Commodores.
The previous possession, Morrison had asked, the official went over and asked, hey, I think I got bumped. Illegal screen by Washington. And right there, pretty obvious one right there, going out of her way. Yep. A little shoulder hit. And Chapman on the back cut. But Morrison, captain, super senior, working those officials earlier, kind of set that up. Make sure they had an eye on it.
That's the second foul on Sasha Washington in this quarter, stating the miss. And a foul on Georgia going for the rebound.
The Stady the last say her last 3 mid-range jump shots, last 2 especially, she aimed them a little more than shot them like she normally. The first half, just with a smooth stroke, in rhythm. She aimed it a little bit right there. But Richardson, again, seizing the opportunity of minutes here today in a critical SEC game, tight game, crashing those offensive boards.
I got that wrong. Sasha Washington was actually called for the foul. Goes to the bench with 3. Then Stady with the bucket off the inbounds. And a 6-point lead for Georgia. Moore, backdoor cut, nicely executed by the Commodores as Demi Washington knocks it down.
Wow, what a beautiful play. Moore just really set that up. Her presence, her threat of her being able to shoot it, drew 2 Georgia defenders, and what a beautiful pass.
Demi Washington becomes the 3rd Commodore to get to double figures. She has 10 points. Eight on the shot clock for the Lady Bulldogs. Morrison launches the 3. Kick out, rebound, last touch by Washington. You could see her cringe as it bounced off her hands and out of bounds.
You know, Richardson's attempt at the offensive glass just made that happen. She saw it, heard her, felt her, and went to reach for the ball instead of just letting it go out of bounds. She thought Richardson might be coming.
They work it around to Richardson, barely scraped the iron. Lady Dogs are 2 of 15 shooting 3s tonight. Morrison has both of the 3s. Came from behind and got the steal.
And none this half.
A lot of contact underneath and only an out-of-bounds call.
Vanderbilt just scrapping on defense, getting hands on basketballs, playing so hard. Just want to hang around. They can't. Georgia just can't put them away. Can't get that lead up to double digits. Again, Coach Ralph, what she wants here, 2.5 minutes to go to be right here. 3-4 point game. Anything can happen. Anybody can beat anybody in those kind of games, those kind of situations. They cannot, in the next 3 minutes, let Georgia pull away to a double-digit lead. Just probably don't have enough firepower to overcome that, last minutes of a game.
Barker checks in for Georgia. Been a tough night for her offensively. 1 for 7, 0 for 6 on her 3s.
What Barker did earlier was just penetrate that zone, set up her teammates for shots.
Nicely done. Bates off glass. 10 for Bates. She's the 3rd Lady Dog in double figures.
Chapman did a good job. She faked. The whole thing was going to go to the left side of the floor. She set up Bates for that pass.
Alexander for 3. In and out. Barker the rebound. Commodores are now 2 for 10 on their 3s.
Again, Chapman, just a great job. Good read. Looked like everything was going to go to Q Morrison. Vanderbilt was just shaping their defense towards Morrison. The threat of her. Chapman made a recognition, saw Bates wide open, made a nice delivery pass.
Chapman with 3 assists to go with her 4 points tonight. Georgia throws it away.
20 turnovers. Woo. And you have a lead, though. 20 turnovers, you have a 6-point lead.
Yep.
Only made 2 threes, both of them in the first half, and you still have a 6-point lead. Well, you got to fight here because Vanderbilt is doing everything they can to win this basketball game. They are fighting, playing hard.
Commodores have scored 16 points off those 20 Georgia turnovers. Traveling, Caitlin Smith shuffled her feet as she collected the basketball.
And Vanderbilt averages 17 turnovers a game. They're a turnover-prone team. Coach Ralph in her first year. That's kind of normal for your first-year team. And she'll improve that. She'll improve the talent base and the players, get experience.
Stady came flying down the lane, and Bates hit her with the assist. 16 for Stady. She's now at her average.
Again, those deep passes against that zone. Good interior touches. High percentage shots.
This lead for Georgia is their largest of the night. It comes now with 4.5 to play in the game. 3 on the shot clock. Caitlin Smith at the elbow. And Bates controls the rebound. Chapman across. Morrison attacks the basket. Leaves it for Bates, who sticks it in. Bates with 12 points, just one below her career high. 10-point lead for Georgia.
One of the keys to the game I had on my notes was the Georgia bench has got to produce. And boy, has Valerie Bates stepped up big time tonight.
Commodores now 3+ minutes without scoring. Demi Washington, tough luck on the layup attempt. Stady slow getting up. Now she trots down the floor. Stady for three, off iron. Barker gets the offensive rebound. A lot of clock running here without a break. We're under 3.5 to go now.
Chapman's doing a good job this half attacking that zone.
And knocked out of bounds by Cambridge. It'll be Vandy's ball when we get back, but Georgia now leads by 10 with just over 3 to play here in the contest. A steal and a beautiful assist to Stady a few moments ago.
Yeah, I mentioned Georgia needs some bench production, and she has been the one. But again, Chapman, her stats aren't going to be used, but done a really nice job in there. Richardson on the offensive glass, playing it hard, didn't shoot it well. Again, nice lift from the Georgia bench.
And Alexander kicks it off her ankle out of bounds. I believe Stady might be nursing a sore ankle. She's kicked the shoes off.
That's what it looks
and
like.
She's on the bench. That'll be something that Georgia's going to want to get healed up before Sunday. And the Florida Gators, who beat Tennessee tonight by 25.
Let that marinate in. 25.
That's crazy.
Unheard of.
And Bates to Chapman. Scoops it up and in. And Georgia may have finally put this one away with a 12-point lead and 2.5 to play. Alexander gets loose, misses the shot, gets her own miss. Vanderbilt's got to score in a hurry. Cambridge tried to bank it in, and the rebound by Nicholson. 5 boards for her tonight. Bates left it short. Nicholson offensive rebound and put in.
And Georgia's just depth. Size has just worn Vanderbilt down. Vanderbilt has fought so hard and played so hard. But the minutes just take their toll on you in the course of the game. They're on the deep bench. And Georgia's depth and size have just worn them down. Two good defensive teams.
And Cambridge got fouled on the putback. Georgia on a 10-0 run over the last 4+ minutes and a 14-2 run over the last 6 minutes to pull away in this game.
A really good fourth quarter by Georgia again. Stuck to the game plan, got the inside touches they wanted. Got a lot of stops. Vanderbilt, a lot of the penetration. Baskets they were getting in the first half just were hard to come by for them to second half. Really credit Georgia's defense. And you have to keep Vanderbilt off the offensive glass. They make up for some possessions and their lack of perimeter shooting. They get on that offensive glass, and Georgia really limited to their opportunities there, especially in the second half tonight.
Cambridge going to finish with another nice night on the box score on a losing end, it looks like. 10 points for Cambridge, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals.
That's a good night.
Foul called on Vanderbilt. At this point, they can only hope that Georgia misses free throws.
For Sarah Ashley Barker, this is an opportunity. She didn't shoot it well tonight. Missed all her threes. The free throw line is a place to kind of get your stroke back, right? You have a routine set up. You've got 10 seconds to get it done. You have a routine you do all the time. You practice it all the time. Again, really good backspin right there. Look, on her threes, either no backspin or a very lazy backspin. On her free throw, she's flicking that wrist and knocking it down.
You know, it's got to be frustrating as she misses it. Nicholson gets the offensive rebound and missed the putback. got to be frustrating. You come out early, you're out 2 hours ahead of everybody else, taking three-point shots, and you're thinking, well, it's going to pay off for me tonight, and it doesn't.
That's right. But you just got to stay with it. Again, she's a good shooter, really good player. It'll come back.
Nicholson, the offensive rebound, got fouled from behind. Bates is twice now here in the last minute or so had a chance to get a new career high and had it fall off the rim.
Well, that one just teetered on that rim. I didn't know which way was it going to go. But Bates and Nicholson are really pounding the offensive glass themselves right now.
Javin Nicholson at the line. 4 points tonight, 8 rebounds.
Coach Ralph at Vanderbilt, she's taking on the challenge of the Vanderbilt program. They've got experience at Vanderbilt. She understands. Her husband's been here before. She's rebuilt the program as an assistant coach at Pittsburgh, and she's got to be excited. Vanderbilt, we both, you and I, have seen Vanderbilt be very good in basketball, women's basketball, and I think she'll get them back there where they need to be.
They haven't been to the NCAA tournament since 2014.
That's stunning. I
It
didn't
is.
realize that stat.
When you consider they played in 27. They played in 27 of the 39 all-time NCAA tournaments, and they've missed for the last 7 seasons.
How about that? It's really, shows you. But again, a proud program, very successful. I make sure there's no question this league is so great, top to bottom. So many great coaches, but she'll build them up, make them highly competitive.
So basically, you do the math, and factoring in the COVID year when there was no tournament. It's roughly, before this streak, they had played in 27 of, say, maybe 32 all-time tournaments, and now they've gone 7 years without. And Shea Ralph, they feel like she's the coach to get them back there, the 6th head coach in program history. She's coached in probably the greatest women's basketball program of all time. At least certainly of the last 20 years, that would be UConn.
Those Tennessee Volunteer fans listening, they might not agree with you, but hey, we'll go.
That's why I tried to hedge my bet a little bit by saying of the last 20 years.
There you go, good man.
6 NCAA titles, 4 straight, 12 Final Four appearances.
I know your point, but she's been successful everywhere she's been. Vanderbilt's such a great school, great program. She will have them.
Foul was called on Barker. I was just a little nervous that she might bang her head on the floor.
I know it. Whoa.
Wow, that Alexander got away with one right there.
I don't think they got that one right.
Inbounds, shot blocked by Bates. Still getting it done. Let's see if we can get her a new career high.
Oh, she's going to stick back here, inside touch.
3 blocks for her tonight. And nearly another steal. Nicholson. Floor spreads down to 7 on the shot clock. And Nicholson puts it in.
Beautiful pass from Richardson.
8 points, 9 rebounds for Nicholson tonight. And Georgia a steal. And Richardson will lay it in. Alexander finally hits a 3 after all that. Her first of the night, coming way too late. And Georgia 71-56 winners. Lady Bulldogs improved to 17-4, 6-3 in the SEC. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. They're only